Hello friends, I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. I got the last parts that I wanted for the guitar, the bass guitar build, so I can wrap this project up today, and I'm excited about that. I didn't necessarily have to buy the things that I bought, but after I opened this up and realized what it is, I thought I might as well. So this is a Squier Classic Vibes 70s precision bass. What that means is every now and then Fender will like reissue basically or like make a clone of previous models. And this is one they do this often in the Squier line where they'll make a Squier version of an older guitar, so they can make these pretty inexpensively. This is a 70s P bass, so what you get with that is a 70s style neck. If you pick up the new Squier series, I don't think it's called Affinity anymore. I forget what it's called. The neck on the Squier P bass is now like tiny. Like it's really weird. It's even I feel like in my hands it felt smaller than a jazz bass neck. I like the fatter P bass neck. I have these huge fingers, and it's more comfortable for me to play on a fatter, wider neck. So when I picked this up at the store, it was like, oh, this is what I wanted. Also, it just looks badass. I love this walnut styling. This is not walnut. This is a Squier, so this is some sort of African mahogany or something, some sort of exotic wood that's been stained to resemble walnut. It is not walnut. The main upgrade you get when you go to the Classic Vibe series. So the regular Squiers are like $220 or something like that. I think this was $550 or maybe a little less than $550. The main upgrade you get is the pickup. This is a Fender Alnico pickup, not the ceramic Squier pickups that come in the other things. And this is a more expensive, it sounds more classic, more vintage. It's the correct pickup for this guitar. So, when I decided I was going to do this job, the main thing that I wanted to do was replace these capacitors. The capacitors that come with the Squiers are these tiny little crappy aftermarket capacitors. They don't sweep very well. They're a little gritty. They don't feel great. And I really just wanted to replace these with regular CTS, like proper capacitors. In doing that, I also decided to remove the tone capacitor. Now, what I mean by that is, it's still in here. There is a tone capacitor. It's right here, just like always. But this is called a no-load capacitor. So at full volume or at full crank on the capacitor, it cuts the capacitor completely out of the circuit. The tone works by sending some of the signal through a capacitor, and that kind of modulates frequencies based on the capacity of the capacitor, that sort of thing, and the sweep of the resistor of the element. So at like no resistance, at open, you're sending all of the signal that would go through this capacitor to ground, so it's not doing anything. But as you increase or reduce the resistance by turning the pot counterclockwise, some of your signal is going through this capacitor, which gets rid of some of the higher end tones. So I have always played this bass full crank, and I'm putting flat wounds on it, which flat wounds are naturally more dark. They don't have that higher end scratchy pickiness of a round wound string. So I wanted no tone pot, and the easiest way to achieve that is to put a no load pot in. What that means is this is a 500. Actually, hold on. This says it's a 250K. This is supposed to be 500K. Or maybe it's an A2 500K. Whatever. This is supposed to be a 500,000 ohm pot. I'm putting this no-load Fender is a 250, but I don't care. I'm not using it at all. It's but at its darkest, it could go to a 250. No, whatever. You get it. At its not dark, at its darkest, it's going to be whatever it is. It's going to be 0. But at its brightest, I should say, it's only going to go to a 250 or off. So there's a jump there, whereas the other one would go to 500 before, whatever. You get it. So the point is, I wanted to replace these, so I bought them. I figured I was going to put on the new bridge, the stronger, beefier bridge to kind of weigh down this end of the guitar. And while I was at it, I might as well do some more stuff. One thing that I did was completely shield the inside of this cavity. This is, in today's day and age, not necessary at all. Shielding on a humbucker, this is a humbucking pickup, so this pickup is going to kind of reduce any noise interference anyway. And we don't really use like ballasts, lights. We don't use anything that's putting out, unless I put a wireless phone charger next to this thing. These pickups aren't. This shielding's not going to do much, if anything, ever. But it's really inexpensive. It was kind of fun to do. I did the back of the pick cart. Might as well. I'm in here. It's not going to hurt anything. So I went ahead and did that. When I saw that the Fender wiring is the cool cloth wrapped wiring like a vintage guitar, but the classic Vibe wiring is crappy little dinky braided wire, I thought, well, I can't. Come on. So I bought the cloth wrapped wire. If I'm gonna order stuff, which I also needed to order knobs because the cool classic Vibes knobs don't fit these these potentiometers, so I had to order. These are vintage Forge guitar and bass parts knobs. These are a true 6mm knob. Supposedly these will fit these shafts. I hope they will, because the Squier shafts are ever so slightly smaller, which is annoying. I hope these will fit the new shafts. Yep, those will be perfect. They look just about as good. A little brighter than this darker nickel. I kind of like the darker nickel better, but this will probably match the new bridge better anyway. So while I was ordering all this stuff, I also ordered a new output jack, 2 of them actually. The output jack that comes with this is a single pole, just a little kind of, it's easy to pull the cable in and out. These are more of a locking style output jack, like it's kind of difficult to pull the cable out, which is cool. So I can rewire it. I can put all the wiring back in, I can put the bridge on, I can get it set up, I can get it playing, and I'm really excited about that. That's probably going to be my project for the night. And that's the reason. I mean, did I need to do any of this? No. I really liked the way this bass sounded before, but I am looking for a more, with this particular bass, I'm looking for that thumpier, just kind of cool, jazzy, upright bass sound. So I'm going to put round wound strings on it. Changing that tone potentiometer means that I can get that little bit of extra if I wanted. I can just cut the tone out and I'm going to get everything the strings are doing. But if I want to make it a little darker, I can dial it back and get that flat wound sound. So I'm excited about that. Plus they're just way better potentiometers than these. I think the volume potentiometer on this one is a little bit scratchy. And actually, now that I'm looking at this, these are both 250K resistors, which fully explains why this tone knob didn't sound like it did a whole lot. In a traditional P bass, the tone resistor is a 500K resistor, and you can hear a huge sweep in the range. With the 250K, I could barely hear any difference from full up to down. So not changing the profile of this bass all that much, other than having that full cut. Because even at full on, with the tone pot, you're still getting a little bit of resistance. With this potentiometer I'm putting in here, it's a full like click and it's off. So I'm excited about that. What about you? Are you excited for me? You should let me know in the comments. I got a lot going on this weekend, so I'm hoping to wrap this project up tonight and then on to other things. You got anything exciting going on? You got anything you want to talk about next week? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you on Monday. Today's 1,000 plus little things happy, successful people do differently. We are learning 10 habits you must quit to be happy. Number 1, quit procrastinating on your goals. Some people dream of success while others wake up and work hard at it. Action and change are often resisted when they're needed the most. The secret is getting ahead is simply getting started. So don't forget about the finish line and just concentrate on taking your first small imperfect step. Abso-freaking-lutely yes. I have said this a billion times, and I have not done this a trillion times, and it's hit me every single time. I need to learn to take my own advice. Just start. Doesn't matter if you screw it up. Start anyway. You'll figure out a solution, or you'll start over. And you'll start over with the knowledge of what you did wrong the first time. Both of those outcomes are way better than not starting. Just start. Who cares? You don't have to show people. That's the secret. You can start and then just never tell anybody about it. Who gives a crap if you mess up?